Hi everyone, it's Barbara Moore at Catch Your Breath 60. We're here live on Facebook and you are welcome to join the conversation. I first want to put a disclaimer out here that this is not a private page. My address is at catchyourbreath60 at facebook.com. It is not a group and it is not a private page. This page is here to help those who suffer from chronic illness such as COPD, lupus, Parkinson's disease, and a myriad of other illnesses. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sandra. Oh, Sandra, you made it. Hi, Merlin. So this is a chronic illness page for people who have any kind of chronic illness. Hi, Merlin. And it is not a private page. So if you have private information that you don't want to share, please don't leave a message in the comments, because comments are public to everybody. But I would like to welcome you today. My page is getting quite a bit of success, and I'm really thrilled to be here every Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So, disclaimer. So, it's the American Thanksgiving. Although in Canada we have our Thanksgiving in October, I think it's the third Monday of October, we always look forward to your Thanksgiving, not mainly for religious reasons or for any other reason except that you have parades and you have football. And my husband is an absolute football freak, as anybody who knows him. Hi, Christine. Thanks for joining us today. We always kind of observe it, and we usually have a turkey. We usually cook a turkey on it because, why not? It's somebody's Thanksgiving. And when my husband did work, he always took the American Thanksgiving off. So we have always observed the American Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all of my American friends. And I think most of us, even those, hi Laurie, hi Mona, even those I think most of us in Canada have friends who are from the States. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I know that this Thanksgiving leads right into Christmas, and this is, when we're very happy in Canada. We get Black Friday sales, just like you do. Well, probably not as good as what they have in the States, but we always end up paying more for our stuff anyways. But thank you to the States. We do have some Black Friday deals on. So some of the companies have been doing Black Friday. We are very lucky to get the Black Friday sales. We absolutely love them, right? So I am from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And our Tiger Cats went to the Grey Cup last weekend, and I kind of had a few posts out there because I don't know who's following or who's watching or whatever. But anyways, the Hamilton Tiger Cats have been 20 years since they have won the Grey Cup. Not to say that they haven't been there many times, but it was a terrible game, and it was like Hamilton just didn't show up. So congratulations to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and anybody who is from out west will absolutely love it. So I know a lot of Americans who don't watch CFL, but because we have our hometown team, right, we absolutely and totally love it. My husband and son have been season ticket holders for many, many years, and football was always a big part of our life. Even as we were growing up, it was just a big part of being in Hamilton. So too bad for the Cats, but you know what? There's always next year, eh? So yes, I bet you're looking forward to Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving is Thursday for you, and a stat holiday on Friday, where we have the stat holiday after our Christmas holiday. We have Boxing Day. So for us at Christmas time, we have the biggest celebration because it's been a while since Thanksgiving. But I know that that's not true in the States. So you have Thursday off, you have Friday off, Saturday and Sunday, and a lot of Americans take Monday off too. So it's a big holiday right in the middle of the fall. It's got to bode well with the kids coming home for the holidays and that. I know when our kids were in college and they were away from home, or university and away from home. It was a terrible thing. And we all wanted to get them back, to see how they were and how much you could mother them before you sent them back and what you could send them with. My son would come home with a big, one of the great big Tupperwares that you use to move in, right? And he'd say, Mom, just fill it up with food. I'm going back. So it'll be nice to have the kids home. What is everybody's plans? Yes, Christine, I bet your hockey is the biggest part of your life because you're up there. You're a little bit colder, a little bit sooner than us, and a little bit longer than us. So hockey is a big deal, right? But you've got to be careful of those being in those arenas because, and I know that there's a lot of people on here who have grandchildren who are playing hockey. Hi, Marion. If you have COPD or any lung illnesses, right, or issues with your lungs, be careful of where you're being in the arena because it's not a good place for you. That cold air is not good for you. So what is everybody doing for Thanksgiving? Are you cooking a bird or are you going to be a guest at somebody else's house? For years and years and years, I cooked the bird. I cooked the bird for when my mother and dad were alive. And I cooked the bird for our family all through these years. So for us now, it's very, very nice. Oh, Marion, do you celebrate Thanksgiving in Ireland? So for now, it's very, very nice to that my daughter is hosting and wants to host most of the celebrations, right? So all I have to do is... Yeah, and so all I have to do is show up, right? So she's absolutely fabulous. And her husband are the best cooks in the world, like honestly the best cooks in the world. So they, of course, hosted Thanksgiving for everybody. And she cooked a turkey and a ham and, she goes all out and does all of this stuff, right? So it was absolutely fabulous. And we had an excellent time. My only problem now, as Christine will... verify, is getting in and out. Going in and out of the house now when it's getting cold out is very much like getting in and out of that arena. And Christine, I heard you said that you had a hard time getting in and out of the arena. And in our cold winters, when it starts to get cold in our winters and it's very, very damp out. And so that's my biggest problem is I know I have to get that tank on. The tank is so heavy. I just find it so heavy, and I don't think I'm such a lightweight. But honest to God, I think it's very, very heavy. So I have to strap that tank on. I have to get into the car, catch my breath, get out of the car, and get into her house, and then do the same on the reverse coming home. Right. So Amy, you'll be eating with your son and his wife and her family, and that's very nice. It's nice when the families are able to celebrate together because it cuts down on some of the stress of, having to be one day at somebody's house and another day at somebody's house and have 2 days of big turkeys and two days of big meals and then go back to work, right? So Amy, do you have any problems? Do you have the same problems that I have with anxiety getting in and out of the car? And if you don't have lung issues, you really wouldn't understand this, but getting in and out of the car is one of the hardest. I did it today because I went and got my flu shot today. I finally got my flu shot. And I did it today and I got in and out of that car and I thought, you know what? This is just as bad as showering. So that's how I feel about that. And that's the biggest anxiety for me around the holidays, right? You got a shoulder strap for your tank. So I was thinking about that too. Oh, Marion, good for you. That's good. Do you have any help with that? So Marion is cooking for 6 adults and 4 grandchildren. So that's really nice. That's about what we would have. Well, not so many of the grandchildren, but one grandchild and 6 adults, right? So that's kind of manageable. Do you have any help, Marion? I'm hoping that somebody is going to help you lift that turkey in and out of the oven in that, right? So Amy, you say yes, you have the same issues getting in and out of the car. So I'm thinking about how I can work on this. Carol said a few things to me last year about my anxiety levels getting really, really high, because this is the time, like, it doesn't bother me so much in the summer, but in the winter it's really, really hard. So one of the things that I did was I took my cannulas, and I talked about this last week. I put insulation around them. It was really, really cool. And although it hasn't been cold enough to really try it out, I think tomorrow it will be. So, and I have to go see my grandson swim tomorrow. So another in and out of the car, right? But I'm going to have that. I know that I'm going to have the warmer cannulas, or the warmer oxygen coming in. Because when the cold hits my lungs, they freeze. It's like it's like a stingray to them, right? And so I'm thinking that that's going to be, and I'm telling myself this is going to be much easier once you have the insulated cannulas, right? So you too, Jean, you have an issue getting in and out of the car. So I was thinking about Christmas, and I started to think about getting in and out of the car, and it would be cold that day. And Christmas Eve, we have to go to my sister's. It's mandatory, and all the family has to go. And so doing it 2 days in a row, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe I'd rather have Christmas at home rather than going to my daughter's place, right? So I'm considering that. Oh, good for you, Marion. Marion says she's got her daughter and daughter-in-law. She says, there's nothing wrong with delegating over the holidays, right? We all get stressed out, and we all take on too much or more than we can actually handle. And there's nothing wrong with delegating. So we started delegating for our Christmas Eve, which is, there's probably immediate family only 45 people, right? So that's a lot for one person to cook for. And I think my sister's kind of, had enough of that cooking over the years. So we've kind of delegated to between the families, or the girls, to kind of bring something and give us a hand. So that's pretty cool. And it makes it a lot easier so that everything's not on one person, right? That's funny, Amy, that you say that cold goes better with you than hot. I know that sometimes in the heat, I'm okay. The heat I can tolerate. No problem with the heat. It's the humidity. And when the humidity gets really, really high, then I can't do it. So actually, that might be, depending where you're from, if you have high humidity, that's probably why the hot's not doing good. We have high humidity days here in Southern Ontario, but we don't have it every day. We get it for spells, and then there'll be some rain, and then we do get some nice low humidity days. So Carol says, do you use a travel size tank when you go out? So Carol, I actually asked my oxygen supplier for the smaller tanks. I use the knee-high tanks, right? And I think they're called the D tanks. And I asked them for the smaller tanks, right? They always tell me that they don't have any. They can't give me that many and everything. But I'm going to, I think when I get off of here, I think I'm going to contact them and tell them that I want some for Christmas, right? Because that's an excellent idea. The problem for me is that the tank is so heavy, right? And I have an ICD on this side, an implantable cardio defibrillator on this side. It makes my left side very, very weak. So normally if you're right-handed, which I am, and you go to throw something over your shoulder, it's over your left shoulder. When I had the ICD implanted, I signed a waiver form saying that I would never ever put anything on my shoulder again, such as a purse or a bag. So I can't put it over my shoulder. So I'm going to try putting it over my right side. But I think that the smaller tanks might be a really, really good idea, especially when you're traveling, right? I mean, I don't need it in the house. Like, my husband can take a tank for me. It's not. Oh, Amy, you're in humid weather, that's why. So thank you, Carol, for that. Yes, I have the bag with the shoulder strap, but so like I said, I can't put it over here. But I could put it over my right shoulder. And I was thinking about this the other day, that it's probably easier if you're holding it closer to you, right? So that might be, yes, Jean, I am with ProResp. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good idea to get the smaller tanks. And then my husband could just bring in the big one, right? So smaller tanks are great because that will help a lot with the weight of the tank, right? And I think that that's what causes some of my shortness of breath, is that I'm trying to wait. My energy is going on carrying the tanks, right? And then having the cannulas insulated really helps too. So that's a good thing. So what is everybody else doing? You know, one of the tips and tricks that I was researching this week too, about the stress for holidays over the holiday season and everything, right? And they were saying, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a chicken instead of a turkey. Chicken's much easier to handle. If you're by yourselves, if there's only like 2 or 3 of you, if there's just a few of you, what are you going to do with the rest of the turkey, right? So unless you're a soup maker, or you're, you know, willing to put half of it away, a chicken is just as good as the turkey, and it's much more easily manageable, right? And for Christmas, or for Thanksgiving dinner, for Christmas dinner, you don't need to go all out with, you know, the mashed potatoes and gravies and 10 vegetables and 1,600 desserts, right? It's not necessary. You've got to remember that it's just one day. So for my American friends, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and I'm really happy that your day has come and that you get a nice long weekend off. I just bought one today, Carol. I just bought one today from Amazon, and I think I'm going to love it. I just opened it before I came on here. A great big shawl, and I have a jacket that I can wear underneath, but it's not heavy enough. So having this shawl over the top, and that's what I thought, I could put it right over my cannula, right? And over my head if I need to. That's a great idea. So maybe next week we'll talk about that, okay? Something to ask for Christmas. It wasn't very expensive, but Amazon, they had really, really good reviews on Amazon, so I really like that. Okay, Merlin, we'll check out with you later. So I'm happy that everybody's having a good Thanksgiving. I hope that you will think about some of the things that we talked about today to eliminate the stress and at this time of year, the stress that we have. And when next week when we come back, we're going to talk about shopping tips and tricks, right? So in the meantime, if you do get stressed out, Hallmark movies are on. And I'm really not one for Christmas movies. Anybody would tell you, but I cannot get over the Hallmark movies. I'm like jonesing to watch them, right? Good for you, Vicky. That's great. Sounds like a fabulous time. Have a nice game of Tripology. So Vicky says that she's congregating at her daughter's home on Thanksgiving for family games. I'll be in charge of bringing some homemade bridge check mix and the game mat. Oh, that'll be fabulous. So have a great time. Yeah, I know, Carol, I don't like them either. I'm very stressful at Christmas. So I'm not all about Christmas and all those stupid movies, but I'm telling you, they always end up good. And no matter what, you just feel great at the end of it. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Have a safe and happy holiday. We'll be back here next Tuesday, December the 3rd, and we'll start getting into some Christmas talk. I hope you have a great day, a great Black Friday. I hope you get all the sale items that you want, and have a great long weekend. This is Barbara Moore for Catch Your Breath 60.